MiG-29, which flew from Dabolim Airport, INS Hansa in Goa, which while coming back to base suddenly met with the birdhit and caught fire. And the pilot who was flying the aircraft, Captain Mrigank Sheokand, he, instead of bothering about his own safety, ensured that the flight was taken to a safe position before he ejected, so that the lives of scores of civilians could be saved. And he was awarded Nao Sena Medal for his act of bravery. And with us we have the officer himself. Captain Sheokand, welcome to our episode of Uncovering India. Many congratulations to you, sir, for your Gallantry award. So, how does it feel?
It's a matter of great pride and privilege for me as an individual and my entire team. When the aircraft gets airborne, it is the responsibility of the entire team to make sure that the aircraft is airborne and ensure the mission objectives are achieved. No act is done in air to get in Gallantry award. It just happens as a recognition for whatever the act is done much later. The basic ethos of any unit is Naam, Namak and Nishan. That is the loyalty to the unit and for the ensign what we fly. My unit, the INS 300, the White Tigers, is a proud recipient of 1 Mahavir Chakra, 5 Veer Chakras, 11 Nao Sena Medal and 3 mentioned dispatches. I am very happy that my present team could add one more Gallantry award to this list.
So, sir, what is courage for you? Since you have got an award for bravery, what is your definition of courage?
The courage, if I would like to put it in one sentence, follow your heart, do the right thing and don't worry about consequences.
So, what exactly happened that day, 15th of November 2019, if you remember the date correctly?
Yeah, it's 16th of November.
16th of November. The incident happened mid-air, there was a sudden bird collision and the aircraft developed a technical snag.
Okay, we were undertaking the carrier qualification sortie for Lieutenant Commander Deepak. Vikramaditya was just about 45 miles west of us.
The aircraft carrier.
The aircraft carrier. So, we got airborne for runway 08. After getting airborne, we turned right. The pilot, trainee pilot in front, he called out birds. We took all our action to avoid the bird collision, but however, we could not avoid. We heard the multiple thuds coming our way. And in next about 20 seconds, we had about 37 warnings coming up. The major ones was the left engine has flamed out, the right engine had caught fire. And our main action was to abort the mission and recover the aircraft safely. We were much beyond our maximum landing weight. So our first action was to jettison our ventral tank, which carries about 1800 kg of fuel. So I decided to jettison the ventral tank because the airfield was just next to me and just wanted to carry out a teardrop and land off. Before punching my ventral tank, I just saw the Zuari factory below me because we know what are the consequences of a dropping in ventral tank with 1800 kg of fuel because it's like a bomb, it will explode. So we decided against it. We continued with our actions. We tried to relight the left engine. We tried to extinguish the fire of the right engine. But however, we realized that all our actions were not laying fruit and the aircraft completely lost control. That is, our hydraulics were not responding, our fly-by-wire did not respond. The trail of the fire was twice the length of the aircraft and the aircraft started rolling right and we did not have any control. Now the last action for us was to eject. So I called out eject, but as soon as I saw there was completely inhabited area just below me and slightly ahead and I could see a clear patch about 3 to 4 miles ahead. So I called out hold to my, so that my front pilot does not initiate the ejection. So seeing about 4 miles ahead, I engaged the maximum afterburner so that the aircraft travels those extra miles and goes to the clear patch. And thereafter I called out eject again and we punched out. once we were out, we were in the parachute, we saw the aircraft crashing in a clear, barren land on a clear hill, and I saw my pilot up. So it was very satisfying that the aircraft had gone to the correct place, and my co-pilot, my trainee pilot, was also safe.
So, mid-air when an emergency happens like this, you have to take decisions in a split of a second. It's a matter of life and death in a split of a second. You took this important decision of carrying on with the aircraft and not ejecting in those few seconds. So what was going through your own mind? It must be a very difficult situation for you. So what were you thinking at that time?
When a pilot is authorized for a sortie, it is his responsibility that he takes the aircraft to the air, completes his mission and lands back. So the task completion is very, very important for any military pilot. So we had a task of taking the aircraft, do the mission and come back. But we had an emergency, and probably multiple emergencies what we had. And we saw that the situation was turning from bad to worse. We took all our actions to recover the aircraft. But at that moment, you become hyper-lucid. You start thinking only about the task at hand and taking all the actions to recover the aircraft. There is no other thought which actually crosses you. And with the years of practice, attending the emergency sessions, talking to your batchmates, and only thing what occurs is that you need to be completing your task in time and recovering the aircraft. There is no other thought which comes to your mind at that time.
So you took this important decision of continuing with your flight despite the entire aircraft being in flames, and you knew the time available with you was very less, and still you went ahead by going ahead for a clear ground and not ejecting immediately.
I think the naval way of life, whether the actions to be done in the peacetime or to be done in heightened state or during the hostilities, are very clearly laid down. We are here because the public or civilians are here. And our job is very well defined in that. We know the kind of damage what an aircraft can cause when it crashes from here. There will be innocent lives lost. There will be damage to the property. For us, staying in the aircraft for a few more seconds and ensuring that it goes to the clear area, I think is absolutely worth it and is satisfying. There are a lot of military virtues which have been instilled from the training onwards. And other thing is taking the responsibility for your own actions. So we decided to stay a bit longer, ensuring that there is no damage to the person or the innocent life or any damage to the property.
This entire incident that happened was triggered by a bird hit. So how big is this bird menace around the INS Hansa at the Gallantry airport? What kind of issues that are posed by this bird menace?
If I may give you some stats, every year there are more than 25,000 birdhits which occur, and more than 80% of the birdhits are not reported even. Most of the birdhits happen below 3,000 feet of height. But how about the state-of-art multi-million-dollar aircraft can be just lost because of the bird hit? So a lot of actions have been taken by the station authorities and by all concerned to reduce the bird menace. We have had the garbage disposal scheme which has been worked out. The evil radar is coming up. There have been anti-pesticides which have been surveyed. We have been taking the bird surveys have been happening continuously. The bird scaling devices are happening. So, but we must also realize that it's not the responsibility of the air station which is probably protecting or making sure that there are no birds in and around the area. But we have to, within the 5 nautical mile of the airfield, we have to ensure that there is no garbage dumps which are there. The municipality, the panchayats, the collectors over here will have to ensure that there are no open garbage dumps which are there, which attract the birds. Because of one bird hit, a multi-million-dollar aircraft, the state-of-art aircraft could be lost. And
the threat posed to lives also due to that.
Absolutely. In case the aircraft crashes, it will come down and there can be innocent lives which can be lost. There can be massive damage to the property.
In the last 1 year, have you seen any activity in terms of resolving this issue of garbage menace and bird activity? Is there any difference you see? Has it come down or still the same?
This is a work in progress. A lot of work has been done. There is a meeting between the naval authorities and the local municipal people over here. And there have been a lot of action which have been taken for the bird mitigation. There have been bird controllers, the bird watchers which have been put here. There have been avian radar which is going to come up very soon. The garbage disposal scheme has actually improved a lot. So it's a work in hand, and we need to be improving with time.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful time that you gave us, the wonderful thoughts you shared with us. So, before concluding, would you like to give some message to our viewers?
Okay, we are staying in such a beautiful country with the most amazing people here, and Indian culture is considered globally as one of the great and the unique cultures. And in this country, I think the armed forces are always there during the peacetime or the hostilities. We are there for any eventuality or whenever we are required at any time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. And
It was always a pleasure meeting you.
congratulations once again. So, viewers, as you heard Captain Sheokand speaking about his entire experience about the air crash and how he saved the lives of civilians by taking those important decisions. So, we can only say that we are proud to have officers like Captain Sheokand, Amitsas, who are there to serve the people of this country 24/7, and we are there because our armed forces are there with us. That's all from Uncovering India. This is Shashwat Guptare with Pranali Rupade. Thank you.